Mathematics, often described as the language of logic and patterns, plays a vital role in shaping how we understand the world around us. Behind every successful math learner is a passionate educator who guides them toward discovery and critical thinking. In this interview, we had the opportunity to sit down with teacher Maria May V. Pinocor, a dedicated mathematics teacher at Camotes National High School, to gain insights into her experiences teaching philosophy and strategies for engaging students in the world of numbers. Join us as we explore how mathematics education continues to evolve and how teachers inspire students to see math not just as a subject but as a tool for life.
Good afternoon, ma'am. We are from Cebu Technological University San Francisco campus from Basic Math 3A. So, the purpose of this month is to know your insights, no, sa inyong ikasulti about sa majors sa mathematics.
So, thankful ko yung mga na-say yes ka. Sa mga this time no, na ang klase kayo na-compromise, sa mga pangita ko. So, madali sila akong mga groupmates, ma'am. I am Lovejoy Caroco. This is Miss Renata Bensa. Miss Lovely Chay Tabra, Miss Erica Manadas, and Miss Fiana Sibani. So, one group na. So, inalaw mo po, ready na tasing anytime. So, okay, ma'am. So, first, ma'am, can you please introduce yourself?
So, I am Mrs. Maria May Valentino Po. So, I've been teaching here at Camotes National High School for over 9 years.
Okay, what educational background do you have, ma'am? Where did you complete it?
With BSN major in mathematics at CTU San Francisco campus, and I have completed the academic requirements for my Master's of Education or Master of Education major in mathematics at CTU main campus.
So, how would you describe your teaching philosophy in mathematics? What do you believe is the most important aspect of this teaching this subject?
So, as a math teacher for over 9 years, my teaching philosophy in this subject centers about making the subject relevant and meaningful to the lives of the students. That is why bitaw, makinamulong sila as much as possible during my discussion, during our session. Most of the time, I provide activities or I provide examples to my students in which they can easily connect, they can easily understand the topic. So for them to better understand the lesson. No matter how hard the lesson is, as much as possible, I find time to provide examples that they can easily relate. And for me, the most important aspect of teaching the subject, which is math, is its development of conceptual understanding. It's where you connect, you produce, to build connections between and among the existing and the new knowledge. Because in that sense, when we focus on conceptual understanding, makainong man tanong, there is a long-term learning sa mga students. Because in teaching, of course, we do not just focus on short-term ones, no? Because as what we believe in learning is beyond the acquisition of knowledge, it is the application of knowledge. And for the students to be able to use those knowledge to solve problems and to thrive in these challenging times, in the challenging world. Kaya po ang concept sa math to have to build the conceptual learning or understanding.
Yun kaya naman, tupag, ma'am. Yung alagid ko gihapon ang remind sa mga instructors sa mga programs sa math na if as much as possible, if mga activities we teach our students for knowledge and makarelate sila at relevant with sa next month. In your experience, what are the most effective teaching strategies for engaging students in mathematics, especially those who may struggle with the subject?
Based on experience, for me, the most effective strategies are the interactive activities, for example, games. When most of the time we'll just have the typical way of discussing purely discussion na. Of course, most of the students na mag-feel bored kami. That is why, especially karon, for a long time here, I've been teaching in higher year or grade level. But starting karon school year, nibalik ko sa grade 7 niya, I changed my strategies in teaching. It's more on activities na lang po, more on providing real life application to my students and providing examples, especially grade 7 students nga kanang maopyan. kanang mahimo silang active students, dili kay mga passive learners. As much as possible, I indulge them to provide activities in hands-on, not only hands-on, pero interactive activities na they tend to collaborate with the other classmates. They will have to play, malinaw sa sila. Okay. As far as I know, that every time, the more opportunities given them, even for the students to learn, the better sila learning, especially for grade 7 students.
Still have students who struggle kasi sa math, how engaging with ang mga activities.
Actually, maging siya reality. And somehow, because every student, naalala mo sila, no? Our approach to teaching, of course, will vary in relation to the nature of our students. Yeah, when it comes to cases like that, especially when I'm on grade 7, not tayo
mga problems na no matter how hard I've tried as a teacher, there are actually students who find it hard to understand the topic, distracted, happen sila. That is why ang ako ang kasagaran approach is to conduct one-on-one interview. I tend to ask my students the real reasons na wala sila focus ilang klase. So, especially sa grade 7, and most of the time, I find the reason it's more in family problems. Kaya in teaching, not only mathematics but also in other subjects. Of course, there are a lot of factors to consider, not only the ability of the students but also their background, the nature of the learner itself, the background, and of course, their diverse learning levels. And you can expect a certain student or a group of students to learn the same way. And that is why in such cases, I always provide differentiated instructions in relation to the needs of the students. Usahay na uban mag-peer tutoring me, na uban nga magamit sa buo ka ng provide ko another activity. But on the other hand, I also have students who perform well. Nga tagaan ako
sila medyo complicated in relation to their level of learning abilities in math. So there are really factors that can affect the focus in learning of the students.
Next, Mom, how do you incorporate technology into your mathematics lessons? Have you noticed any significant improvements in student performance or engagement as a result?
When it comes to the use of technology, especially in teaching
grade 7 students, for now, I've been using the interactive PowerPoint presentations. And of course, I've seen a significant improvement in the learning of my students, especially when providing the basic concept using the technology. But actually, to be honest with you, somehow the way or my style in teaching rely heavily on the level of difficulty of the topic. That is why sometimes I will use the traditional one, the chalk and board, the tag boards. Kaya ako for as long as the students are involved, no matter what kind of technology I'll be using, para na ako, once they are involved and they have understood the topic, they have to learning. So it's not just more on the kind of technology, but somehow it relies again heavily on the level of the difficulty. Kaya usahay, one technology medyo dili siya appropriate. So kasagaran yun, bisan pa man kung kaning traditional na ng chalk and board, kahit ihapon siya natin. Pero when it comes to the use of technology kasagaran, I've been using the PowerPoint presentation, interactive PowerPoint.
So by any chance, ma'am, do you ever incorporate digital mathematical tools? As for now, especially considering our topics in math, kay more teachers naman, wala pa ko. But I'm planning to use, di ba na yung mga algebraitor, GeoGebra, siguro, especially kaya ang mga mathematical is more an algebra command. So I believe the best method to use in order for them to understand the topic, especially operations involving teachers, mas effective
mag-games me. So just like for example, what we've done last week. Last week was the last month na mo face-to-face class. Nag-modular man me before the declaration of the suspension of the face-to-face classes. What I did was, when teaching the integers, using the concept of the number line, so sila kung paambak-ambak. So with that, I believe na with that experience, at least, they can easily recall hindi kung saan nila pag-add or pag-subtract using the concept, using the number line. At nag-ambak-ambak sila. So Paano siya? So, my approach in teaching actually relies heavily on the kind of topic that I'm going to teach. It was for me the most practical way at ako mag-abak-ambak sila na mas engaging sa para nila.
So, no matter what kinds of technology or any kind of strategies you're using, as long as the students are involved in the teaching and learning process, okay.
As long as I can not only the involvement of the students, but it's the best method for me to attain the objective, and it's very much in mind for me.
What are the biggest challenges you face in teaching mathematics, and how do you address them? The biggest challenges, as what I've mentioned, I guess I was able to mention
this one earlier. It's the different learning levels of the students. Because you cannot expect a certain student, for example, a grade 7 student, you cannot expect that all students are ready. In fact, based on the result of the rapid math assessment, only one student, if not mistaken, is in the proficient level. So most of the students lag behind. So that is why one of the challenges, the first challenge will be diverse learning levels of the students. And why it makes it challenging? Because for grade 7 students, there could be grade 6. The level is below 3 levels below, baka 2 levels below. So because of that one, challenge din siya. Aside from trying to address the concern, ang mga sabihin is we are torn between teaching what is in the curriculum and teaching what is necessary. So challenging din siya. Though we are teaching grade 7 students, in general, I'm not saying all of the grade 7 students that I'm handling, in general lang ba? Although I am teaching grade 7 students, but as much as possible, I would like to compensate itong mga pila ka, unsang mga skills ang nilag sila behind niya. Due to the efforts of doing that one, somehow, nakalimutan na there are competencies that they have to master, they have to learn in a certain level for grade 7. So there is a possibility that when they will be grade 8 students na, ang ilang pang readiness is behind pa yun. Yun na siya isa sa mga challenge. That is why we are conducting remedial classes, 30 minutes, the aral math, we are conducting the aral math. That's sad to say due to inevitabilities in life, especially the suspension of classes, mga murag problema sa ginyo sa nang pag-address. But nevertheless, in order to address that one, considering that during the face-to-face class, I always provide fragile instructions, what I've mentioned, the diet peer tutoring, I always exert time, especially sa math, because we have programs in math in which we, during the 4 to 5, every 4 to 5, since vacant naman ng mga students, every 4 to 5 p.m., most of the teachers in mathematics will conduct remediation classes. It focuses on the students na mga nasa priority key areas na kung need yun o sobrang effort na makapaan sila para ma-ready na sila for the next level. Aside from that one, again, one biggest challenge was the distraction. Not only basically the level of the mental ability of the students, but also there are underlying factors why students may not function or may not understand what the subjects, perhaps siguro they have problems at home. So in order to address that one, I always conducted a one-on-one conversation with the students, asking them of the possible reasons. Because mathematics, teaching math is not just about the subjects, but there's a need for you to connect as well, Now one way of connecting is trying to understand the reason why the students are distracted, why the students feel less motivated to understand the topic. Bisan pa man usahay bitaw, I'm not a values teacher, pero sa matulog lang kita values. There are instances in which the students tend to somehow forget the values. Kaya math manggod, it's not all about the mental ability, no? Pero based on experience, those who perform well in math are not just the above the average students, but most of the time, those are the average students who work, who exert effort to understand the topic. So it's not just the ability of the students to learn, it is also in the determination and motivation of the students.
Kasi pag using those conversations, basta pag-improve, pwede naman na mag-start sa pagpanita mo and the efforts that you have to exert to understand the topic. Nakakarabot na rin.
Agree gid kay Ma'am kay bisin kami mini motivation gid sa
Wala kailangan ng anan sa field mo, pinangan dito enough motivation kaya hindi rin mag-push. Yes, laban ng good.
So, Ma'am, in your opinion, what role does mathematics play in broader curriculum and in student future careers?
For me, mathematics serve as somehow a language for logic, reasoning, and problem solving. Okay. It's not all about the numbers. It's about believing that every problem is a solution. Di ba mo manasabahan? It's about how to think logically, how to reason out them. And kana siya. So, kana siya. It's a language. Its role is to develop the skills of the students to solve problems.
So, how do you stay updated with the latest developments in mathematics education and pedagogy?
I stay updated by attending seminars, especially for teachers like us. And every year we have in-service training. And aside from that one, aside from teaching in mathematics faculty and also teaching research, and that is why more on pro. Most of the time, if I have free times, ma-search on the po mga related journals regarding sa math, and knowing the possible mga bago ng mga trend sa math. Pero kasagaran yung mga seminars kasi naman kayo. We are still learning. But it was process mo dito to learn and trust.
So, Ma'am, if you could make one change to the way mathematics is taught in schools, what would it be and why?
So if given a chance to go to change how it's being taught in school, for me it's to shift from the traditional rote memorization to a based and real-life application. And always provide opportunities for the students to explore, investigate. And for me, when doing that one, it may lead to not just understand the topic, but also to generally appreciate mathematics, not just to understand again, but to appreciate mathematics as a practical and a very powerful tool in life.
So, for your last question, what advice would you give to students who are considering becoming math teachers themselves, like us?
For students like you, the things that you are that you have learned and about to learn in the near future. Somehow, especially the things you have learned, somehow they're very real. When you go to the field to see the reality, you might have experienced lisod as compared to what is being idea. But for teachers like you, especially when you decide to become a teacher na pudpud, always bear in mind that no matter the hardships that you're going to face, always bear in mind and always go back to the very first reason why you choose the topic, why you choose that profession. And remember, when you go to the field, it's when you realize that especially you have tried everything, mga pamaagi for the students to understand. So to inspire you, always go to the very first thing, the first reason why you choose teaching. And always bear in mind, one of the reasons siguro, aside from the books but because we would like to change the students. There is no more noble profession than teaching. That a great teacher is a great artist. Only his medium is not a canvas but a human soul. If not only mathematics but also teaching in general, it's the noblest of all the profession. Okay? We are molding lives, we are molding the future. So you have to go back to for example, if there are challenges, or whatever challenges may come along the way, always remember the reason why you choose teaching. Yung anak nila namin mga panahon nakapuyan din ka, na mga panahon nga mura magpapuyan na sa pagtudlo, So balikin, kasi mahinunggan na mga teacher ka. Niya, kinahanglan mo din siya. Being a teacher needs passion, not only for the salary. Kay, hindi man siya makahatag ka ng hardback, bawas makalunok, pero not only for the salary, but remember the first thing that inspired you to become a teacher. Kaya ako in my case, when I was a student like you, makadong ka nun, ako yung maanin. Usa one of the reasons why I chose teaching is because of the song, song or a poem I shall live only just once. If there be any kindness I can show, any goodness I can do, let me do it now. Let me not be deferred nor neglected, for I shall not pass this way again. For me, the most fulfilling profession of all, hindi na one mga professions, but it's actually teaching. Hindi mo siya makahatag na to treasures, more treasures in life when it comes to physical money. Wala mo tagmahal. But all the way pa na hindi ka nahanin mo as teacher. Pero for sure, if you do your job, if you teach with the heart, for sure na usad matulungan. Pasalamat yung mga ma'am, thank you for being one of our teachers, the best teachers. So, go back to the very first reason why you choose teaching. Especially karon, for sure siguro, you have a brighter future ahead of you. So karon, I know for sure, padayon mo. Marag muna ako nakita ninyo. Ako ang nalay ko suggest, when you become a teacher, a licensed professional, kung ay mga pagkita o mga usa pa na din na mga putang maka-discourage, baliti, kung sa inyong din ang teacher. And that will rekindle your passion for teaching. And that will make you a strong teacher, the best version of yourself. That's all. Thank you.